A new $39 million capital project was approved for the Vestal Central School District. 94% of that money is going towards installing a new air conditioning system into the last three schools in the district in need of installation. 12 News' Aaron Lawler shows us how the funding is coming just in time.
Clayton Ave Elementary, Vestal Hills Elementary, and Vestal Senior High School will be receiving air conditioning thanks to the capital project that passed on Tuesday by just 23 votes.
We know that, it's staying warmer longer into the fall, and it's in the early spring, it's getting warmer, and you check these temperatures in the classrooms. It's pretty high temperature, and it's difficult for teachers to teach and students to learn at a high level.
Parents of students at these three schools tell 12 News the change is definitely needed.
We don't even get to Memorial Day yet, and the discussions have started about, it's uncomfortable at school. I need a water bottle, and which is, of course they need a water bottle, but they want the kind with like the spray fan and stuff so that they can try to cool down.
Casey Baumlin, a Vestal parent and a teacher at Whitney Point, says not only will this help students with medical issues, but it will also boost attendance.
Because I know that that's a reason why kids don't go to school at times. They know it's going to be really uncomfortable there on certain days.
A second parent of a student in the Vestal School District and substitute teacher in the district commented on Facebook, quote, "These AC units are needed. Once this capital project is completed, all Vestal schools will have air conditioning." Vestal is also getting ahead of a New York bill that will most likely be signed in the near future, mandating that all classrooms will need to be kept under a specific temperature. The bill she is referring to is the Classroom Heat Bill, a piece of legislation that is currently sitting on Governor Kathy Hochul's desk. The bill requires students to be removed from classrooms if temperatures reach 88 degrees. 12 News reached out to Governor Hochul for a comment on the bill. Hochul's office said that she is, quote, reviewing the legislation. The deadline, though, to sign the bill into law is today. Other parts of this capital project include lights at Salmon Field, renovations at the high school auditorium, and a video scoreboard at Dick Hoover Stadium. Aaron Lawler, 12 News, Broome County.